So let's just all say that Trump didn't have the relaxing Thanksgiving that he had hoped for, or that we had all hoped for him. Instead, he decided to attack Governor Tim Walz with slurs and permanently paused migration from third world countries. Welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 500,000 subscribers. Thanks to you, we're almost getting there, and we're hoping to get there by New Year's. We're 6,000 shy, so do me a favor, hit subscribe, watch, comment, and share, because this level of stupidity, it's got to come to an end. So look, Trump had a stressful Thanksgiving, and of course decided to look to Truth Social in terms of calling Minnesota Governor Tim Walz a pretty offensive word. And on his way back to D.C. yesterday, Trump was asked about his comment. Play the clip.
Talk of that, did not say post-change in Tim Walz, and you called him what many Americans do find an offensive word, retarded. Do you stand by that claim of calling Tim Walz retarded?
Yeah, I think there's something wrong with it. Absolutely, sure.
You don't
You have a problem with it? You know what? I think there's something wrong with it. Anybody that would do what he did, anybody that would allow those people into a state and pay billions of dollars out to Somalia. We give billions of dollars to Somalia. It's not even a country because it doesn't function like a country. It's got a name, but it doesn't function like a country. Yeah, there's something wrong with Walz.
You know, how many times on this show have you heard me say, why doesn't somebody, I don't know, maybe give him a Dramamine before he goes on these flights? Why not turn around and then just basically attach him to his seat and not let him drift to the back of the plane where the press is located? Because every time he does that, it becomes more fodder. It's more ridiculous. It's more offensive. And you know what? It makes America just look that much more stupid. And over the weekend, Governor Walz, well, he responded to Trump's post on X. Let me show you what he said. Yep. After a gigantic long rant by Trump posted on Truth Social about Tim Walz, he responds back, release the MRI results. Something that I'm pretty sure Trump has no intention of doing. Now on Air Force One, Trump, of course, couldn't leave that alone. He now had to respond to Tim Walz's call for his MRI results to be released. Play the clip.
But they asked about my MRI. MRIs are very...
Governor Walz asked you to release the MRI.
Can you tell us what it was
Governor
for?
Walz, you mean the incompetent governor? So, if they want to release it, it's okay with me to release it. It's perfect.
What was the reason they
It's like my phone call where I got impeached. It's absolutely perfect. So, if you want to hear about it, or if you want to release it, you want to have it released.
Yes,
News Nation, failing News Nation. News Nation is doing lousy, by the way. But if you want to have it released, I'll release it.
Can you tell us what they were looking at?
For what, releasing?
No. What part of your body was the MRI looking
I
at?
have no idea. It was just an MRI. What part of the body? It wasn't the brain because I took a cognitive test and I aced it. I got a perfect mark, which you would be incapable of doing. Goodbye, everybody. You too.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Two more women, literally that pointy of that finger, incompetent, fake news, this, that. So let me just say this is somebody who unfortunately had a little bit klutzy here and there, and I've gotten hurt plenty of times. Let me be clear. With the MRI, you exactly know what part of the body. It's not a body MRI scan. If they do your head, you know, they lay you down there, they affix your head into this sort of neck pillow, they strap it so that there's no movement. If it's an arm, well, then they do the arm. If it's your lower back, which unfortunately I have lower back problems and I've had multiple MRIs, well, then they just basically pull you all the way in and they put it. How do you not know what your MRI is of? Nonsense. Now, another major topic of Trump's Thanksgiving was his call to end immigration from certain countries, 19 in total, as a result of the shooting of the National Guard members. This, my friends, is the type of rhetoric that Trump is now posting on Truth Social. Let me show you what he says. In it, he writes, if you've never been to Afghanistan, you wouldn't understand. If you showed these people an espresso machine and gave them free coffee, they would assume you were a witch and chop your head off. But let's bring them in. This is what Donald Trump reposted. Imagine that. Really? They wouldn't know what a cup of coffee is? Seriously? A reporter on Air Force One actually asked Trump how long he plans to pause this asylum. Play the clip.
On immigration, your administration made a lot of moves throughout the last few days after that Afghan national is the suspected shooter of these National Guards.
Yeah, the people that shouldn't be in our country.
So you announced that asylum.
And that includes Somalians and it includes plenty of others.
How long does your administration plan to pause asylum into the U.S.?
I think a long time.
Can you give any
We
kind of time?
we don't want those people. We have enough problems. We don't want those people.
Is that a year, 2 years?
No time limit.
And then
But it could be a long time.
you said that.
We don't want those people. You understand that?
I understand.
You understand that?
I understand.
Who are you with?
I'm in News Nation.
News Nation, great. Let me just say something. We don't want those people. Does that make sense? You know why we don't want them? Because many of them are no good, and they shouldn't be in our country.
Like those people.
The people from different countries that are not friendly to us, and countries that are out of control themselves. Countries like Somalia that have virtually no government, no military, no money. All they do is go around killing each other. Then they come into our country and tell us how to run our country. We don't want them. You gotta talk up.
You do know that he's referring to Ilhan Omar, right? I mean, he has a hatred for her. And as a result of his disdain for her, he hates the entire country, which he doesn't even think is a country. Yeah, maybe it's a country by name only, but they don't run like a country. Really? Really? What is Russia? Are they running as a country? Or is, I don't know, Putin running it like a company? Meanwhile, Trump then continued his Truth Social rants over the weekend, where, of course, he has to discuss his big, beautiful ballroom. Let me show you what he wrote. In it, he writes, the presidential ballroom, which I am building at the White House with all private donations and funding, zero cost to the American taxpayer, will be, at its completion, the most beautiful and spectacular ballroom anywhere in the world. It is something that has been needed and desired at the White House for over 150 years, but something which no other president was equipped to do. But I am, and as long as we are going to do it, we are going to do it right. It will be a magnificent addition to the White House, the most important since the building of the West Wing. Now, I do want to turn around and say for what's going now to be 250 years, America has not had a ballroom, which let's, for example, take a look at a ballroom, I don't know, in Buckingham Palace or in Putin's palace or in Mohammed bin Salman's palace. And there's a reason why. Because we are not a dictatorship. We are not a monarchy. We are a democratic republic. And the goal is not to try to compete with monarchies. Now, of course, Trump also spoke about the upcoming Tennessee special election, concerned about that, concerned that they're going to lose. Let me show you what he said. In it, he writes, I am asking all America First patriots in Tennessee's 7th Congressional District who haven't voted yet to please get out and vote on Election Day, Tuesday, December 2nd, for a phenomenal candidate, Matt Van Epps. Matt is fighting against a woman who hates Christianity, will take away your guns, wants open borders, transgender for everybody, men and women's sports, and openly disdains country music. She said all of these things precisely and without question. It's on tape. Do not take this race for granted. The radical left Democrats are spending a fortune to beat one of the best candidates we've ever had, Matt Van Epps. You can win this election for Matt. Get out and vote for Matt Van Epps, who has my complete and total endorsement. He will never let you down. You know, there's a lot of things that get said in these sort of Trump rants, but the one I find the funniest is his questioning of her religious faith. This is a guy who's holding a Bible upside down, who actually takes a Bible, slaps his name on it, right? And in front of a church wants it cleared so that they gas people in order to get them to move. What would Jesus do? Not that. Meanwhile, he spoke about Biden's executive orders as well. Let me show you what he turned around and said there. In it, he writes, any document signed by Sleepy Joe Biden with the auto pen, which was approximately 92% of them, is hereby terminated and of no further force or effect. The auto pen is not allowed to be used if approval is not specifically given by the President of the United States. The radical left lunatics circling Biden around the beautiful Resolute desk in the Oval Office took the presidency away from him. I am hereby canceling all executive orders and anything else that was not directly signed by crooked Joe Biden because the people who operated the auto pen did so illegally. Joe Biden was not involved in the auto pen process, and if he says he was, he will be brought up on charges of perjury. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Now, let me also turn around and say it would not be a Trump rant without a 2028 mention. Let me show you what he says there. Trump 2028, yes, and they are now calling them Trumplicans. It's no longer MAGA, it is now Trumplicans. That, my friends, is put out by the President of the United States, something which is wholeheartedly unconstitutional. Now, the last post that I want to show you is about drug prices. Let me show you what he said about this. Because I have invoked favored nation status for all United States of America, drug prices are falling at levels never seen before, 500, 600, 7% and more. No other president has been able to do this, but I have. This is also the answer to much less expensive and far better health care. Republicans, remember, this was done by us and nobody else. This is a revolution in medicine, the biggest and most important event ever. If this story is properly told, we should win the midterm elections in record numbers. I am the affordability president. Talk loudly and proudly, President DJT. Now, let me be very clear about something. All right? There's not an ounce of truth in a single sentence of that post. First of all, Joe Biden went out there and Joe Biden helped to reduce the price, for example, of insulin. Yes, while Trump is declaring favored nations status, I want to be clear, as somebody who actually takes prescribed medication, my medication has not gone down a single dollar. In fact, the price has gone up. So I'm not sure what this favored nation status is actually doing, but in my estimation, it ain't doing shit. All right. Now, speaking of drug prices, reporters then went on and asked Trump about reporting coming out of the Washington Post, literally about Pete Hegseth ordering multiple strikes on drug boats to make sure that everyone was killed. This is crazy stuff. Not only is this crazy, it is illegal, it is unconstitutional, and it is also morally wrong. Let me show you what Trump had to say. Play the clip.
Following up on that one day.
On the Venezuela boat strike, if there were a second strike that killed people wounded in the first strike, are you thinking that would be legal?
Number one, I don't know that happened. And Pete said he did not want them. He didn't even know what people were talking about. So we'll look into it. But no, I wouldn't have wanted that. Not a second strike. The first strike was very lethal. It was fine, and if there were two people around, but Pete said that didn't happen.
Does that make you
I have great confidence.
He's saying there's no second strike?
I don't know. I'm going to find out about it, but Pete said he did not order the death of those two men.
Do you have any concerns about how those boat strikes have been carried out at all?
Very little, because you can see the boats, you can see the drugs in the boats, and each boat is responsible for killing 25,000 Americans. So, and they do an amazing job. And you know, you just look at the numbers.
And let me end with this. As I wrote in my Substack of today, Commander Clueless strikes again. This is now becoming a weekly ritual. A weekly ritual in Washington where you wake up, you pour your coffee, you check the news, and you discover that Pete Hegseth has once again done something that isn't just dumb, but aggressively, flamboyantly illegal. Not questionable, not sloppy, illegal. This isn't your routine bureaucratic blunder. This is full contact stupidity with a side of federal criminal exposure. And let me tell you, when you have as many Republicans now as concerned about Pete Hegseth and the secondary strike, you know that there's a lot that's going to be happening. And as always, thanks for listening. Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.